Welcome to the first podcast of the Woodside Priory Experience Podcast Club. My name is Evan Chen, and I'm the creator of the club. Today's episode features Junior Ethan Zhang, Senior Richard Chang, and most importantly, our guest, the beloved Canadian chemistry teacher here at the Priory, Mr. Gabriel Tang. You will also see me joining the conversation later because unfortunately Ethan had to leave during the podcast. In this episode, they talk about growing up Asian in the Western society, the cultural differences between Canada and the US, advice for students both in middle school and high school, family expectations, cuisines, Canadian sports, and best places to visit. Mr. Tang also shares his passion for teaching, his best Priory memories, his life lessons that shaped him, and the cultural change that he experienced when he moved. So, without further ado, let's begin.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Tang, you know both of us, right?
Yes, I do.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Richard.
Yes.
Mr. Tang, obviously, legendary chemistry teacher here at the Priory for more than 20 years now.
23.
23
Wow.
years, wow.
And obviously, we should all share something in common. We're all Canadian.
Oh,
Yeah, we're all
that's
Canadian,
Right. We're
yeah.
all Asian Canadian.
Yeah, but
Asian
we're all
Canadian.
from different provinces, right? I'm from
Mm.
British Columbia,
I'm from Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia,
And Alberta.
Alberta.
But,
Yeah, that's
right.
great.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful province.
So on that topic, we can start by talking about like living as an Asian from a young age in the Western society. Like, how was that for you, Mr. Tang?
Well, I think compared to you guys, because I'm 55 now, you guys are 15, 16, 17, and I have 40 somewhat years ahead of you guys. And it was very different back then. There are more Asians now in Canada and US
Right.
and other Western world too. So it's not like we are strange people. When I went to Calgary back in 1983, there were very few Asian. Now, just to give you an example, Calgary's population now is over 1 million. Back in 1982, 83, it was like 300 million. So the population went up more than three times, right, in the span of 40 years. And I remember when I went to grade 8, because that's where the grade I got put in from Hong Kong, and which is Form 2 in Hong Kong. Yes, Form 2 in Hong Kong. I didn't speak a lick of English. The very English I learned in Hong Kong was conversational English, which was laughable because if you don't practice the language, you don't speak it.
Right.
You really don't. So people will say things to me. I know how to ask where the bathroom is, but I don't understand what they're telling me.
Oh, okay.
That's how bad my English was. And it took me a full year to understand the language. So that part is really hard. And the fact that there were very few Asians in Calgary. Maybe in Vancouver there was more, but in Calgary definitely not there. I stood out like a sore thumb. And I was bullied. My brothers was bullied. It was hard. It was hard as a teenager. Body's changing, hormones changing, and then have to deal with the culture shock as well as the physical changes at the same time. It's awful. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
for
it's definitely not the same as I guess Asian Americans or Asian Canadians are now.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing the
Yeah.
vulnerable experience. I can relate to that when I was little. Even now in Nova Scotia, it's not really
Yeah.
the most popular destination or place to move to for Asians. So, in around 2020,
Mhm.
I think there's more Asian markets, Asian communities coming in.
Right.
But before that, it was always just me. I was one of the only Asian students in my school.
That's
Went
right.
to this Catholic school in Halifax, Sacred
Yeah.
Heart School of Halifax.
Yeah. A lot of Catholic schools there in Halifax.
Yeah.
There's a Catholic university there too. I know St. Francis Xavier.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
That's really interesting because for me, I grew up in China, right? So I moved to Canada when I was 9 years old, but I attended an international school there already. So before I was born, my mom already immigrated to Canada, so I was born Canadian. So from a young age, I learned English and everything. So by the time I moved to Canada, I think I fit into the culture pretty smoothly,
Right.
which is pretty interesting. But in the area I lived in, West Vancouver, it was like the school I went to in the beginning was a public school.
Right.
In the public school, there were like, at least from when I was in China, I didn't really see the real world. Like I was in a private school, I was like more protected, right? But as soon as I went to Canada, in the public schools, I understood like what true society was like. Like I was still like made fun of, right? There was racist jokes and stuff like that. I've never really like I didn't really even know what that was.
That's
Like,
right. And we're so out of it. Yes.
Yeah, we're so
We're
out
so
of it.
out
Right?
of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
We don't
yeah.
even understand
So-
the idiom.
Yes, I remember when like these people would make jokes that are really common, right? Like
Yeah.
in the Western society, like these small jokes are like really common. But when somebody like made a joke of me or like my mom, like I would get really mad, which is really like. But like after like 2 or 3 years, like I slowly got like used to it and stuff. So like I think that's
Yeah,
really-
I think it's going to that vein. I think just aside comments, rightly or wrongly, and I say a lot of stuff in class. I say a lot of stuff in my with my friends and you guys too privately.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it. And you can record it if you want. As an Asian, North American, I know when somebody's being racist. I know when somebody's teasing, and I know somebody's ignorant. I know when somebody, you can sense it almost like when somebody's out to, like, they're not just making fun of you, they hate you. Right? You can sense that. And I think the society had get to a point where, rightly or wrongly, and I don't know, some people take offense to every kind of wrongdoing. They don't care if it's teasing. They don't care if it is, say, the contextual situation don't matter to them. The fact that you said something that I find offensive warrant some sort of investigation or something. Right? It makes us, I think, less human.
That's true.
Because part of being human and part of being an effective human, I think, that is to learn to read the context of the situation.
Yeah.
Right? Like if somebody said, like, oh, I'm a first generation Asian, North American. I don't use the dishwasher. I don't. I know Mr. Clark trying to explain to me that you save energy by doing that, and I kind of researched that a little bit, and I go, no, because when I live by myself, I have very few family members. It's just faster and easier for me to wash dishes than the machine. And so I use the dishwasher, like most Asian households, as a place to store Tupperwares. And some people can take offense to that. And they say, you're generalizing. And I go, no, I say first generation Asian. I didn't say all Asian don't use dishwasher. And when it's using a dishwasher, it become a very sensitive topic.
Right. Yeah.
I heard you say context. Like I really think that like in terms of these jokes, like I've learned as well, like there is like some spectrum to it. Like sometimes you should know when you're going above the bar.
That's
like
right.
I feel like some like small jokes are fine, but like when I hear like too many of these, like I just kind of like I'm a bit like angry at sometimes because you're going over the bar. Like,
That's right. You can tell. You can
yeah.
tell. Like as an Asian who lived here for a while, you can tell. But that's being said, everybody is not me. I get it. Some people's threshold of what they consider offensive is not the same as my threshold. I get it. So in a public arena, I understand practicing caution and not saying anything at all would be more prudent.
Yeah. Another really interesting thing was like in 2020, obviously the coronavirus came.
Yes.
And like I at least for me, like I heard a lot of like different like stories in the Western society about how like the Chinese people were like being really targeted because of this. Like there was so much like racism towards like the Chinese because everyone believed that like we brought COVID here, right? So what do you think about that?
Well, in that specific topic, I think starting with around that time during the pandemic, I made a conscious effort not to watch the news anymore, other than health news, like from government health agency in terms of like precautions to take and other things, right?
Yeah.
I will listen to that. But other than that, I turn off the internet. Like, I just don't watch the news anymore. I don't watch, because most of the news are not news; they're opinions. They're not facts anyway. It's somebody's idea of a fact. So I find it mentally taxing to, even worry about it or even listen to it, spend time and energy on it. So if I don't like to hear something and I know it's wrong, I just turn it off. I stop arguing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just talking to a student just last class, and they were talking about cyberbullying. It just kind of came up in a side conversation, and I kind of mentioned, if you guys don't like what people are saying to you online, you can just
Get off.
get off the internet, right? Like you could turn it off.
Yeah.
You don't have to check your phone. You can delete the app. You have all that power. You care because somehow I think it speaks to you in some way. It speaks to you in a certain, I don't know, I'm not saying it really good here, but like a fight and flight kind of, a deep psychological level. Maybe you're comfortable with that. Maybe you're comfortable with getting angry, right? So I don't know. I just got tired of it. I rather spend the time napping.
Yeah.
Because after teaching all day on the computer, I need to sleep. My eyes were just shot. My brain was like fried. I don't have time for that. So that's how I dealt with it, just by disengaging. It's not I don't care. It's a self-preservation tactics. So they can say whatever they want. You're not going to convince them otherwise. There's no changing people's opinion these days. You present facts to other people. They present you with alternate facts. And they're going to argue that their facts is more valid than your facts. It's a circular argument that you can't win.
Yeah.
So I just go, for my sanity, and I'm older now. I don't have that much time on earth compared to when I was younger. That's the math. Do I want to spend another minute of my precious hours on this planet to argue with somebody that I don't even know? That I don't care, really.
Right, I guess you really have to find this balance between like caring for yourself versus caring for the world. Like obviously, you want to.
Sure. I mean, like some people say, well, I had a recently dear friend who said, if you don't care, then that's how Hitler ruled the world, right? Because they first go after the Jews, then they go after the Gypsy, then they go after you, kind of thing. And I kind of go, yes, I get it. But, I'll go to the art protest, if I have time.
Mm.
Right. But at this point, you guys are the young folks. You're the one that should get angry. You have the energy to get angry. But I would caution you not to get to a point where it attacks your mental health so that you become a different person. Maybe that's just an older me talking to younger
I
me.
think
Yeah.
that's really true based on my personal experience, especially in the past year. Whenever I watch the news, I feel this kind of anxiety where, especially with like coming of age, now I'm almost like a grown man now, and to like care for my family and all that, and care for my country and the country I live in here in the United States.
Sure, but there's a point too, because
Yeah.
if you don't take care of yourself, you can't help anybody else, right? Like on a plane, if the oxygen mask come down, the instruction is you got to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before the kid next to you.
Yeah, I was really burnt out before, I think 2 weeks ago, and I got really sick. And after I recovered, I kind of had this like epiphany moment where I was like, maybe I should stop caring so much about the world, especially there are so many things I
No,
currently don't have the power to change.
no,
And I'll probably like save my energy and focus on myself first. And in the future, when I do have that power, I can sort of
yeah, and it's also very important not to drink the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean by that, right? Like if you are, let's say for example, you are in a position where you can do the changes, but you're part of the system, and the system wants you to behave a certain way. That is counter to your authenticity or what you really believe in. Then you really have to make a choice. You might have to walk away from the lucrative job, or like you know, because it no longer speaks to you, right? So we all have to make that personal choice, I guess.
Do you have anything to add, Ethan?
No, not really. I mean, we can switch topics if you want.
Yeah, sure.
That was a
Yeah,
deep topic
yeah,
to go into.
yeah. We can go for more like a casual one.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, we're all Canadian, right? So like we were wondering like, what do you think is like? We can talk about Canadian culture. Like, what do you think is like the best Canadian city or like the spots or like the
Oh wow,
cuisines?
it depends, right? If it's food, then I have to say Vancouver. Like I
Vancouver.
can't get
Yeah,
better than
Vancouver.
Vancouver. The diversity is there. You can go down the street, and every restaurant is pretty good. Vancouver had their own social problem, obviously, with East Hastings and all that. But you know,
You know that's
and
like
and
right
and
around
and,
Chinatown.
and I haven't been to the East Coast of Canada. I would love to go to the Maritimes,
Yeah.
right? And I heard it's beautiful there, and I really should. I never been to Quebec. Never been to Montreal. As far east as I go is Toronto, and that was when I was really young. So didn't step foot in Manitoba. Would love to go to Churchill and see the polar bear before they disappear. So, I mean, different. I just what I like about Canada. It's so big. It's so vast. There's so many. It's so sparse as well at the same time.
Yeah.
And people are just warm, right? Like they're just warm, and I think and even though I don't agree a lot with the politics in Alberta, um, people are people, right? They're just trying to make a living. So I noticed that in 2007 when I first started doing Facebook and all that stuff, right? And I just recently went back to all the Facebook posts that I did. I went chronologically all the way back to when I started. And it was cathartic to look at what I posted or the story I repost. And I go, who is this guy? I don't like him. Like the person I was 20 somewhat years ago. Opinionated, self-righteous. And I noticed I've changed. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know how far I changed. And I started deleting posts. Because that person is no longer who I am. He's gone. I don't want him. So I delete a lot of that stuff. And I notice arguments I have with friends of mine who are in a different political spectrum. And so, and recently in the summertime, I went to a get together with my old friends. And there were some people that argue on Facebook. And it's almost like, God, I feel so stupid talking to you about this stuff. It's not important. How you do it? How's your family? How's your kid? That's what's really important. It's not about politics. It's not about how the government should spend their money. I mean, that's important, but what's important is family, right? Like, it's the connections that we have. And when you're talking to people face to face, you wouldn't say what you normally say online. So I think the internet, which is ironic, who trying to democratize opinion, end up polarizing. It doesn't bring people together. It divides people. And I find it, yeah, very ironic. So that's another reason why I'm trying to get off this social media and the internet. The only thing I post is food. Because food brings people together.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like personally, compared to the period when I grew up in, both Canada and United States have been, I guess, politically much more divided. I guess.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays when you sit down with people the first thing, or like people you haven't met before, you've never met before. Oftentimes, like the first thing they ask you is like, what political party you support.
Yeah, or where you're from.
Yeah.
Or where you're from. So I now, when I meet people, I make a conscious effort not to ask them where they're from, and I have this little trick. So if I'm in the Bay Area, if somebody I want to ask them where they're from, I don't ask that question. I say, "Hi, are you from the Bay Area?" And that's a pretty safe question to ask. I think if they're not from the Bay Area, they'll tell you. I mean, they might not be from the Bay. I mean, I met some Asian that are from Orange County, but I would not say, "Oh, which part of Asia are you from?" I mean, like even as an Asian saying that to another Asian, that can be offensive. So I would just say, "Oh, are you from the Bay Area?" And they'll say, "No, no, I'm from Orange County." I go, "Oh, great. What is it like growing up down there?" You know, and that opens a conversation instead of like, "Oh, I need to know your country of origin," right?
Yeah. I know we're trying to go to a lighter topic. I know you mentioned
Yeah.
how food brings people
Yeah,
together.
yeah, I do. Like I ask them what kind of food they like.
Yeah. What kind of food do you like, or do you
I like
make?
all kinds of food. I think we live in such a beautiful world that there's so many different cultures and they bring in so many different tasty treats, so to speak. So I like all kinds of food. Of course, I'm Asian. I'm partial to like Cantonese food, and I'm trying to learn how to cook more Cantonese food. My biggest thing right now is learning how to cook soup, because like there's all these things that you put in there, and you just I'm a big fan of just putting everything in a pot and just let it wait. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to sit there and baby it. Right, stir fry all the time, cut everything up. You just cut everything up and you throw it in there. It's fine. 5 hours later, you got a big bowl of soup that you really love. And so I'm doing that. It brings me back to the time when my grandma knew how to cook soup, but I was too young to learn. So I'm trying to figure out how she did it. I'm trying to look it up on the internet. I also like other Asian food, like Korean, Japanese food, Thai, Malaysian. I obviously like Middle Eastern food. I think Indian food. Yeah, I like hummus. I think hummus is like, and I'm gonna get some flack there. I think hummus is the Mediterranean ice cream, or like Middle Eastern ice cream. Yeah. I could put hummus on an ice cream cone and just eat it. It would be like heavy protein and like not fat at all. Like it's supposed to be really healthy for you, no sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can put a chip on it too. Or you can use the ice cream cone as a chip. So that would be great. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. And I like some British food. Like I like Yorkshire pudding. I like French food. I like Russian food. I like all sorts. South American
Canadian
food.
Yeah.
There's
the poutine.
not,
I like poutine, but you have to watch it.
I don't like poutine.
You have to kind of watch it. Sometimes it can be salty. It can definitely put weight on you if you eat a lot of it.
Yeah.
But once in a while, you just want it.
Yeah,
Right?
I can't think of like really like another Canadian dish that's like uniquely.
Yeah, it's only
Canada.
poutine, man.
A lot of it, it's
Well,
like,
the poutine is definitely Canadian. I don't know. I know alcoholic drinks are uniquely Canadian, uniquely Calgarians too.
Oh, something like maple syrup.
Maple
Like,
syrup. Well, they have
maple
that. They have that in Maine as well. Although I do think the Canadian maple syrup is better.
Yeah. I remember when I was younger, like when it would snow outside in Vancouver, I would like grab a very clean ice and then I would like pour some syrup on it. I would eat it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Well, the ice wine is uniquely Canadian. Yeah. I would say.
for us in Nova Scotia, we have like, like the popsicle sticks with that. Dip it in maple syrup.
That's right.
I would go outside.
That's in Quebec too. They do that in Quebec.
Yeah.
There's a French word for it. I forgot what it was. Yeah. There's another thing I learned French in Alberta. Terribly.
Yeah, like in the east area, like east coast of Canada, like a lot of people speak French. But when I was in Vancouver, I really didn't learn anything. So,
No,
so
because
I don't even know any French.
No.
For us, we have a mandatory curriculum in middle school. You have to take at least 2 years, and then you can choose whatever language you want. I chose to continue.
Yeah, because it's
French.
Acadia, right, in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, Acadia, yeah. Acadia, in case the audience doesn't know. Mr. Tang, would you like to explain the history of
Well,
Acadia?
I don't know. I'm guessing that there's a sizable French population in Acadia.
Yeah, so it was, I'm pretty sure it was New France, which was in Quebec at first, and then the British invaded, and they took Quebec. They burned Montreal, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
And then so the Acadians, they had to migrate east to New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, or like the southern tip of Nova Scotia. And then the British, they sort of conquered Acadia as well, and they deported some of the Acadians to Louisiana. That's why they have the Cajuns there.
The Louisiana. Yeah, because that was owned by France until the purchase, right? So yeah, that's a huge thing there, right?
Yeah. I'd like to bring up the sports aspect of Canada because big topic is the Toronto Blue Jays just
Yes,
lost
that
the
was
World
disappointing.
Series.
That was very disappointing.
really
Consider
disappointing.
we dominated in game one, right?
Yeah.
Totally dominated.
Yeah, I know. It was a hard way to. I mean, let's talk about Canadian sports, like, cause I know like there's a lot of Canadian teams that play in the American leagues and stuff, like Toronto Raptors. At least for my local club, Vancouver Whitecaps.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
doing really well.
yeah, I know. I'm really proud of like these Canadian clubs that are actually like flourishing in the American League. Like Toronto Raptors in 2019 or 18, they went
2019,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, they went on a championship run and stuff. Like, do you like any specific like Canadian sports like ice hockey?
Well, I do like hockey. I don't follow sports as much as my other friends do. They'll send me football scores and stuff, which I just roll my eyes. Dude, I don't watch football. Stop it. Stop with the football. I have a friend in Calgary. He's a professor at University of Calgary, and his main thing he goes on and on about how San Francisco 49 had moved down to Santa Clara, but they never changed the name to Santa Clara 49ers. That's his beef, and I go, for everything that you get upset about, this is the main thing, right? I don't watch football, but I do like ice hockey.
Calgary Flames.
Calgary
That's
Flames,
that's
yeah,
that's the
Flames,
local
yeah.
team. Yeah.
Although we haven't won a cup since like '89.
Canucks aren't great either.
Well, they got close, and then there was a riot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, for Halifax, our club plays in the Canadian League. So.
Oh, for soccer.
No,
Or-
for both soccer and hockey. Halifax Woodside is the hockey team. We play in the CHL.
Right.
And then Halifax Wonders play in the Canadian.
Yeah, yeah,
League,
yeah.
or
Speaking
The
of the
CHL is am I right? It's like one league below the NHL kind of.
yeah, and there's
It's
like,
like
a
the AHL kind of thing.
OHL as well,
OHL,
like
yeah.
for the Ontario.
Right.
Speaking of the Canadian Premier League, the CPL, like they had like a final like 2 days ago, and it was so like it made like the top news articles in soccer. Like the game was played, I think, in Toronto, and it was snowing, really crazy. Like the whole field was covered in snow. Like it was like the most like unique game you could ever watch, and a player scored a absolute like beautiful goal. Like he scored a bicycle kick. So basically, when you do an acrobatic kick in
That's
the
right,
air
that's right.
and you score, and it was
In snow.
in snow. And like
I saw that.
you saw it,
Yeah,
you should search it up. Like I saw on every like Instagram, TikTok, like every single like big sports news was like reporting on this. Like this is like the most Canadian thing of all time. Like play soccer like with like like the whole field was covered in snow, and like snow is pouring and everything.
Well, I see people riding a bicycle in Calgary in snow. There could be a blizzard, and there's people riding a bicycle. Is that crazy? So I think Canadians are a hardy bunch. We complain a lot less. I think the
Yeah,
weather
we-
made us just deal with it. So I just find Canadians are more accepting to the situation politically and economically.
Yeah.
I mean, they certainly don't like certain things, but they less complainy than the Americans.
Yeah.
For sure.
True.
And I think that has to do with how the country was founded, right? We don't revolt and overthrow the British. We talk it out.
Yeah, we did.
It took a while, but we talked it out.
It did take a while. Yeah, I remember you saying the playing the snow. I remember when I was little, during the winter it was snowing, right? And when I could walk to school from my house, but I normally I chose to take the bus, and I would have like 2 layers of pants and 3 layers on top.
The snow boots.
Yeah. And then at school, everyone has like a locker, and we would take off like the layers, and then we just left with shorts and the t-shirt indoors because like the heatings are nice.
That's right.
And stuff,
And I
but-
remember that. I wasn't used to that.
yeah, but during lunch, we like quickly finish lunch,
Yeah.
and in our t-shirts and shorts, we just like, go out, and it was like snowing, and we play basketball just on the playground.
Would you ever
while
do
it was snowing.
snowball fights?
Yeah, it was
Snowball
snowball
fights.
fights.
Did you remember your first snowball fights?
It was not in Canada. It was in China.
Okay.
I went to, do you know Harbin? Like it's
Harbin,
like,
yes, I've heard of
like,
Harbin
you- like I
Oh,
went
that's in
skiing.
Manchuria.
Yeah, Manchuria.
yeah.
Yeah, my grandma's from there. So I just went to visit and we skied and like I played snowball. But like in Vancouver nowadays, like I feel like snow's pretty rare.
It is. You have to
It's
go
really
up the
rare.
mountains.
Yeah.
I remember my first snowball flight. in 1983.
Specific.
My brother and I, the first snowfall, I was just like, what is this stuff? This is so cool. And I think some friend of mine at school taught me how to make a snowball. I had no idea how to make a snowball. And there's a science behind it, obviously now, but back then, like I didn't know. I just followed instruction.
Yeah.
And then I think that weekend, my brothers and I went to like a field, and we just have snowball fight. We just throw snowball at each other. And then we got soaking wet, and we came home and we were drenched. Actually, our jackets were drenched. Everything was drenched. So yeah, I remember that. I still remember that today.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's good. Oh, Mr. Tang, you mentioned that you're originally from Hong Kong, right? So
Yes.
I don't think it ever snows in Hong Kong.
No,
does it?
no, it was one crazy story too. One day, I think I was 8 or 9. It got really cold. Hong Kong can get cold, like I'm going to use degrees Celsius here because that's what we use.
Yeah, I remember.
It
you
got to
complaining
like
about that.
2 degrees Celsius, and somebody in the news said, "Hey, there is it got really cold. The one of the highest peak in Hong Kong is called Lion's Peak. So the top shaped like a lion, an outfit of a lion. So it's called Lion's Peak, and they said, it might get to 0 degrees Celsius." Lion's Peak, and every Hong Kong person thought it's going to snow because that's the freezing point of water. So they all, like a lot of people, drove up there, and the news reporter go up there. Of course, there's no snow, and they reported that too. I thought that was just absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, my mom, she lived in Hong Kong for like 10 years.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was early 2000s, so it's obviously different from before 1997. Before.
Yeah, the things even after the protests, I think is I'd never gone back since '83. I've never gone back to Asia since '83.
Why?
Well, it just never came up. Like I'm busy. I was busy with school. I was busy with making a life for myself. I didn't travel much. My dad, when I grew up, he knew being an immigrant is going to be hard in Canada. So that year in '83, when we moved, he made a stop to Tokyo, spent a week there with the family, did a tour thing, and then went to New York, New Jersey for a week and a half to visit some family there and visit some friends in Toronto for a week. And then went to Calgary. And he basically said that will be our last family trip. That was it. That was first and last. Because from this point forward, life will get incredibly hard. And he was right. It got incredibly hard. And I know people have harder life than I did. But I appreciate my dad doing that. And so when I grew up, it never dawned on me that I should travel. Right? It's always a luxury, not a need. So of course, when I go to Vancouver to see some of my friends, yeah, that's as far west as I go. I would go to Vancouver Island, maybe Seattle one time, and then I went to, Saskatoon one time, right? And then I think after I got married and I moved down here, we went to San Antonio one time, and that's it. That's pretty much it. And I drive to Canada quite a bit, so I do visit the Western states, but I never set foot in Asia again since I left. So do I miss it? Yeah, I would like to go in 5-6 years, maybe. It will have to be after my parents pass, because right now they're old, and my primary objective is to make sure they're comfortable as they go on to the next journey. So that's my primary goal right now. Traveling is not on my agenda right now, but I do eventually want to go. I would like to go back to Hong Kong for a month or two with my brothers.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah, that'll be
to see
interesting
how-
because it'll be the first time I set foot there since '83, and I don't foresee myself going to at the earliest 2030. So that would be 50 years.
They have a new airport now.
Yes, I know about that. About the new airport. It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So I would like to just eat and go hiking.
I just I'm just curious. Have you obviously flown from the old airport in Hong Kong?
The old airport, yes.
how's that like? Because I've seen.
Well,
videos.
the first time I was flying from the airport was the time I left Canada, Hong Kong to Canada.
Oh wow.
And that was the first and only time I was at that airport flying out. I never flew in.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I've seen videos of the approach. Is
That's
very
right.
crazy of it.
Yeah,
Very.
yeah. I've seen it when I was like the planes get really
Oh,
close
right.
to the apartment.
Yeah.
It's really loud, really scary. Yeah. And the runway is short. And my apartment was in North Point. And so I live on the 16th floor. I still remember that view. And I could see the plane lands. And like you can see it just breaks at the last minute. And it's sometimes I look out and I go, oh, is this going to go into the sea?
What else do we have?
We can talk more about like Priory then. Like,
Sure.
like why did you come to Priory in like the beginning?
Well, I got lucky, I guess. I didn't know what I was doing when I was leaving Calgary. So it's a long story. There's a personal reason I wanted to leave Canada. And there was professional reason I wanted to leave Alberta. So I made a bet that, I tell myself, it was after 9/11. So things weren't going good in the US. And there's a saying in Canada, so whenever the US sneeze, Canada catch a cold. Right? Because I don't know Americans know this, but we're the biggest trading partners of each other, not China. Still is. And so, there's a lot of cross-border trading. And so the economy is pretty tied between the two countries. So when America was going through a downturn after 9/11, Canada also went through a bit of a downturn. The government didn't have a lot of money, so they were owing teachers a lot of back pay. So there was a general teacher strike in Alberta, and the union was weak. It was really weak. It still is really weak. So I got really upset. I got really upset at the province, at my union. I got really upset at teaching in Alberta. My wife was American at that time, and she missed home. So, and we just had a young child. So I kind of said to myself, you know what? 300 million people in the U.S. can't be all wrong. I mean, they live down there, only 33 million people in Canada. So I told myself that it would be a good move to come down. So I made a decision with my wife. I said, let's just move down. And so we did. And I didn't know what I was doing. I went online to look for jobs. And, nobody really wanted to hire me because my immigration status was unclear at that point. Because you need to get a green card and all this stuff is in the process. So nobody wanted to promise me a job. So, but then eventually it came through. And I got hooked up with Priory through a hiring agency out in Chicago. So I just kind of went online on the internet. It was just dumb luck. So I applied to this hiring agency called Connie Sandals, and I didn't know what it was. And then I figured out, oh, it's a hiring agency. So they said they will look around for me in Northern California. So I had a couple of interviews, and Priory offered me a job. So I just took it. And there I stay. And the persons who interviewed me was Father Morris. He was, I remember the interview. He was very kind, very generous, very hospitable, like a Benedictine monk. But he was also very upfront. He said, I want to hire a chemistry teacher that will commit to staying at Priory. That he's not just here for a couple of years and then take off. And then he said, saying, I don't know if you believe in it, but he believed he was a teacher at heart. He said that teaching is a vocation, it's not a career. So the difference between a vocation is like a lifestyle, I believe. And, you do it till you die kind of thing. So I kind of say, yeah, absolutely, I would do that. And here I am, I stayed for 23 years. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how I got here.
So you did the promise of Father Morris that you would stay for a long time.
I think I met the promise, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you think that you were gonna stay for a long time?
I thought so. I it was hard at the beginning because you have to design the program. There's some stuff that the chemistry whoever the former chemistry teacher did what that I didn't quite agree with, and I look at the student population in terms of their skill set and what they bring, and the program that was laid out when I got here wasn't quite right. I didn't serve the needs of the students, so I had to change it, and we had to change it a couple of times throughout my time here because the population changed, obviously. So yeah, we do that, and I'm amenable to changing again because I noticed since COVID, the level. In some way, the students are more mature. In some way, they are behind. So
Right.
just to be factual about this. So in order for me to run a good chemistry program, I think I need to continue to modify it.
Yeah.
And I'm in the process of doing that right now.
So you spoke of like changes and stuff. So like I was wondering like the change in Priory from like 23 years ago to now. Like
Yeah,
It's
it's
definitely
very
been a big change,
different.
right?
The internet definitely play a big role. The social when I say the internet, I'm talking about the rise of social media. Definitely play a big role. The way the platforms in Instagram and TikTok and everything else is set up, I think it's not really conducive to long term learning. It really isn't. I felt like this is just I can't say it for everybody. This is a general observation. Okay, it doesn't apply to a specific person. But my general observation is that students are less focused.
Yeah.
They're easily distracted. They don't have a long retention or attention span compared to somebody that I taught like 15 years ago.
yeah, that's because of like
The video, the fragmentation of the
fragmented,
video, and I think psychologically it definitely changes the way people learn. And just when I first got here, the iPhone wasn't even around, right? The internet was still at its infancy. So Khan Academy started in 2007. I was here already. So I mean, the internet become more emergent, but in some way it's good. I think the video lessons are good, right? In terms of catching students who are not in class. I mean, do we have the same problem back then as now where students are taking on too many extracurricular activities and they're not in class because of sports and other stuff? Yeah. So when I first got here, there was hardly any video. I didn't do any video lesson. So when a kid missed a class, I would have to give the same lesson like 10 different times just to catch them up, right? And I'm typing up notes as I go along. So and then I got tired of that because it's not a good use of anybody's time, right? So when Khan Academy first came here in the scene, I go, that's a great idea. So I started making video lessons.
drtang.com.
That's right. So and so I look quite young back then, and
more chubby as well.
more chubby as well. Thank you. I leaned out. So so that saved my sanity basically, because when a student missed a class, they can watch the video lesson. So I actually had video lessons since 2008, 2012, way before COVID. So when COVID hit, I was ready with those video lessons. I was kind of ahead of the curve. I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
To do all those video lessons and do online teaching would be an enormous amount of work, right? I was thankful that the school, when I suggested that, the school was very supportive of a lot of the new things I want to do. Right, so flip teaching is another one of them that I tried. It didn't work out, but I learned something from it. I don't know if you're aware of flip teaching.
Oh,
So-
flip, yeah. During COVID, there was a lot of
Right, a lot of
like,
flip teaching. That
flip-
that actually
flip-
came out of Stanford back in 2012, 2013, where you let the kids learn the material at home using video lesson and other asynchronous tools, and then they come to class and you just do the facilitation. You help them with their homework and stuff. But what I found is that the kids that are motivated to do the work, they did better. These are the kids that I don't really have to be there to teach. They can learn from a book. They can learn from my video lesson. They're motivated to learn. But the students who are not motivated for whatever reason, they suffer more from not direct teaching. Right? So I discussed that with Ryan Schlack, who was the upper head of upper school at that time. And I say, I don't think this is a surprise, right? Motivation, intrinsic motivation, meaning not like me inspiring you to learn, which I can do, right? But ultimately, for consistency's sake, I really believe that I can't change people. Nobody can change anyone. Change has to come from internal. I can show you if you work hard, maybe you'll achieve that, and it does not guarantee, right? So that's inspiration. But the hard work and the dedication and the discipline is all in you. I can't make you go to the gym, right? I can't make you go to the gym. I can get inspired, right? I can like walk by a gym and through the big glass see all these guys working out and they're buffed and they're generally, fit. And I could be eating a cheeseburger while I'm watching them. That I'm inspired to be like them while eating a cheeseburger.
Right.
But inspiration alone without discipline and consistency does not equal excellence.
Yeah.
Inspiration plus hard work and discipline may achieve excellence. And excellence is not, I achieved my goal. That's not what excellence is. I define excellence as giving a fair shot and accepting whatever the universe gives you as a result. Right? I mentioned this many times to you guys before that just because you work hard, it doesn't guarantee success. Everybody work hard before they get to the Olympics, but there's only one gold medal.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So how do you define excellence? If the excellence is I got to the Olympics, I give it my all for my country, then you got to the opening ceremony, that's already a success. You try your best at the competition after the opening ceremony, that's a success. You didn't win a medal, fine. It's still excellence. Because you did your best.
Yeah, that's reminds me of this poem by a Russian poet, Boris Pasternak. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of him. He wrote, "You yourself should never or may never distinguish your victories from your defeat, and never for a moment betray your credo or pretend, but stay alive. Only this matters, and alive and burning till the end."
That's right.
And he was sort of talking about this, like sticking to your art.
That's right.
And that's actually what I wrote about in my personal statement as well, because I'm doing college apps right now. And for me, it's really, as you said, excellence as trying your best and giving it all. But
That's all anybody asks us to do.
Yeah,
That's all anybody asks us to do.
The results,
They're
you
secondary.
don't have to. You don't
Yeah.
have to determine them
No.
yourself.
No, if you, honest to God, try your best, you already succeeded. Because you were better than before you tried, right? So, a lot of people talk about inspiration, but they don't talk about discipline anymore. And again, that's TikTok. And that's like Instagram. It's easy to watch a 20-second reel. It's difficult to do the hard work. It's difficult to go through the valleys of hardship and to go to the gym every day, even though it's monotonous. Right? And I mean, most people who play the piano would not like to play the scale for hours at a time, or the arpeggios, right? If you play music. Most people who do sports, they might say they like doing sports, but they certainly, I don't think, like to spend the time working out or meal prep, and have to do all this like hot stuff, right? It's no fun getting up early in the morning to go swimming when it's cold or like this, but you do it. You do it because you're not focusing on the hard work, you're focusing on the potential end result. And I think that has to do everything about anything you accomplish, it's not just chemistry, studying chemistry. That's just a vehicle. I tell you guys that. When I teach you guys, is yeah, you learn the chemistry, sure. I mean, that's the thing I teach, but it's all about life, right? It's all about, you know, how you approach things. Chemistry is just the car. Doesn't matter what kind of car it is. It's what you're doing in the car and how, what you know, the journey yourself. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, if we can give them a moment to process that.
Yeah. That was really deep
Yeah.
and inspiring.
But I really believe in it. Like, you guys have a lot of time left compared to me. You don't have to rush to get somewhere. The world is not ending tomorrow, and like what people are saying, the world is not ending. You don't have to do everything in your 20s. There's all these decades after. I know you can't really see it, but you do what you can without breaking yourself. Because once you broke yourself, you can't go back, right? Like, so you try hard, but there's a balance. And I think the balance is, okay, I've done enough for the day. And it's actually a blessing when you don't get to finish what you want to finish for the day, because now it gives you things to do tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You're not like, sit there and say, now what am I doing? There's still something to work on. So in a way, it's all perspective too, right? It's all perspective. And people get angry, people get upset at each other. And I think if people think about perspective, and I don't know if you guys understand the word perception versus perspective. Perception is when you see an event and you're thinking about the event from your own mind. It's very subjective. Perspective is when you're talking to somebody about a certain issue or event or whatever, and you see it from their point of view. That's perspective. And I think we should do less perception, because everybody can do perception, and more perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think the internet doesn't foster that. Because it wants you to comment. And when you comment, you are telling other people your perception.
But there's some like nuance to that. Like when you like see other people's perspective, you don't have like,
you don't have to agree.
Yeah.
You're right. You don't have to agree, but you have to see it from their point of view.
Yeah.
Like why they are saying that, and then you can say, I can see where you're coming from, but I'm just not down with that. And you can walk away anytime. Like I said, you can close your laptop, turn off your phone. If you're talking online.
The issue I was saying is like when you like see so many other perspectives on the social media, like you don't really have a perception of your own.
That's right. That too. That's the dangerous. Yeah, that's also a dangerous thing.
Because like you could like see a lot of like different like sides of like the news, but like you don't really like process it yourself. Like you don't think about it yourself. So like you just like hear what they say and like
and then you repeat.
That's what you think. But like you didn't even like really know the event, so like you don't have a perception either. You're just looking at their perspective.
Right. That's also a dangerous thing. So, and if you find yourself doing that, I think walking away and let it sit, do more evidence gathering, question, that's the critical thinking part, questioning where the sources are from, whether these people have a hidden agenda. So all that will take time. You can't give an opinion. And like I think my favorite phrase right now, a good friend of mine have been saying that a long time, and she would say, to be determined. TBD. You don't always have to make a decision right away. You don't have to, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. You know, you just say, that's interesting. I'll think about that. You're not offending anybody. You're not agreeing with them either. You go, I have to think about that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. There you go.
Any other questions?
What do we have on here?
Do you have any questions for us?
I have a question. Not to you guys specifically, but on a whole. How do you feel about this generation compared to your parents? Would you say that you guys are better off than your parents overall? When I'm sure your parents tell you how they grow up.
Yeah. It's hard because I remember my parents saying like their generation, especially in their like lives, they have suffered the most because when they were growing up, they had like strict Asian parents and stuff. But when they became a parent and they tried to use this same thing their parents did, me and my sister rebelled, right? So like it's just like they had to like blend a different like Western and like
That's exactly what my parents say.
Eastern like culture together, and that's why they say like, at least for them, not really their generation, but like them at least, they have like suffered the most because they have to like change stuff and like really like adapt because like their children are like Western, like they're like westernizing and
So now I'm projecting here a little bit. Let's say in about 20 years you have your own kids,
Yeah.
your own family. How do you think you will raise them, knowing what your parents know and what you experience now? Obviously, like I'm not saying what you experience is like you would think most fondly or favorably. I'm sure you see some you know I would say shortcomings in how you were raised, right? Especially when you get older. So, how would you approach parenting in 20 years? I know it's far away. Like,
Very
what
good
what
question.
what you talk about Eastern versus Western?
I generally don't think there's a correct side to parenting. Like it's like really different and stuff. Like you like there's bad sides and good sides. Like for me at least, I'll just try and like my best to like do like what I think is best for them, and like what worked for me. But like obviously, if like it doesn't work for them, then I have to like change it and stuff. But like, I will definitely not be like an Asian parent. Like there's like traditional ones that like don't really care about what the children's feeling, right? Like if they just impose like what they want for their children, but like when they even see like their children like saying anything, like they won't really listen. But I don't want to do that. So like I'll try probably like do my own way, and like if they like don't like it, then I'll do my best to like change and stuff.
Sure, sure. What about you, Richard?
I really appreciate my parents. They're very open about, or like they support my decisions, especially now I'm older. In terms of like my future, they really respect my decisions. But at the same time, there's sort of like this Western Eastern thing, right? They remind me of what they did when they were little and what my grandparents did when they were my age, and they're trying to tell me not to forget all this like heritage and way of living. Like,
Sure.
So for me, in the future, because I see a lot of kids my age, they're raised by obviously American parents, and they're very wealthy, and there's this sense of, maybe I'm wrong, but I think there's some sense of like them being indulgent, or they're not exactly, I guess, I don't know how to put this, but for me personally, in the future, I don't want my kids to grow up and gain happiness from, I don't know, video games or materials, things like this. I'll educate them to be beyond that, like my parents did. But at the same time, I want them to be able to choose whatever career, whatever
Sure.
they want to be.
It's very mature. You guys obviously might think about it. I seem to think maybe it's just this school. I'm sure different school will be different. Like a public school, the parents will be different than the parents here. Obviously, different socioeconomic status, different focus about life. So I'm very wary about parents who want to control a lot.
Yeah.
I think control comes from the realms of expectations. And there's a Buddhist saying that when you expect a lot, you will become more unhappy. Expectation breeds unhappiness. The human free will is a very strong one, right? When humans don't have free will, they become unhappy because they cannot be authentic. They're doing what somebody else wanted them to do instead of what they choose, rightly or wrongly, right? That's why there's free choice. So you have to accept that, and you have to but sometimes it's hard to watch your child make the wrong choice. But you have to let them discover that it's a wrong choice on their own. I think being a parent myself and seeing my child make various wrong choices, you just have to learn to shut up and let them figure it out. That's the hardest part.
I feel like, yeah, that's true. That's like what my parents try and do as well.
Yeah.
Cause like I remember one of my parents, I forgot, but like they said like what they learned is like they shouldn't like. I feel like they should let us go, and like when we actually hit a bump, we'll actually learn ourselves. But like a lot of people, like some parents, like try to like already think of like helping their child like avoid this mistake already.
That's right.
It doesn't really help.
No.
Because I feel like when you really let go of, your like child, and like they go out and make a mistake, they'll learn themselves. And I've already experienced that myself. Like I don't listen to my parents and I do something stupid and I make a mistake, then like I'll learn from it. But like I feel like that is like the correct way of teaching, at least.
Yeah, it's hard to, like, they might remind you that this might not be wise, but then they will have to say, but this is your life.
Yeah. At the same time, I feel like at least for like a lot of people this generation, like kids, they really don't care what they like what their parents say. Like they won't really listen. Like
Really?
they'll probably just do it.
I'm not seeing that in the classroom.
In the classroom.
Yeah, so like a lot of kids want to do well in school, obviously, because now I don't know, is this chasing college thing, the Ivy League especially, is a parent generated anxiety or the kids peers generating anxiety, or a little bit of both?
I think both.
I think for me, it's like more with peers. Like my parents don't really care. My dad was saying how Santa Clara should be a reach for me, and I think Santa Clara is like really good school, and but the point is they don't really care what school I go to at the end of the day. But like especially for us in the dorms, there's a lot of peers talking about college apps. Like when I was a freshman, I would ask seniors for advice when they were applying to college, and but nowadays there's more of this culture of like, I guess, pursuing excellence, but it's a different definition of excellence, right? In the dorms, okay, in the boys' dorm, and oftentimes you wouldn't want to, at least in our group of the dorm, you don't really want to like stand out someone who doesn't try as hard, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not a healthy environment, I feel like at least.
At times it's not a healthy environment, but I would say it's better than like, people like play video games all day.
Oh yeah. But at least for me, like from my experience, like I remember when I first came to Priory, like I was really like worried about like college and stuff. Like I really wanted to do like get into a very top college. But I feel like I don't know if it's with you as well, Richard, but like when I like progress my like I grew up and stuff, like it's not like I don't care anymore. I just feel like it's more accepting for me. It's like when I from freshman year to now when I'm a junior, like I feel like I still want to do well at my school. Like I really care about my academics, but at the same time, if I don't get into an Ivy League, like whatever, like if I don't get into a top 20, like I really don't care at this point. Like I just try to like do my best in academics.
And it shouldn't, because you have so many years to correct that.
Yeah.
If it is even a correction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like when one door opens or one door closes, you look for the window.
Oh, that's something my dad says in Chinese. It's like God. I think it's like it's like God, like, because like I don't know, God shut down a window to open some, like it's like the same thing, but like it's in Chinese, but
Yeah.
I forgot what it is.
Sometimes it's not a window; it's like a door to the attic or something,
Or like the blinds,
or
I
the
forgot.
basement or whatever. Yeah, hopefully it's not like a dungeon or something.
Oh.
But but I seem to think if you do your best with the information given and you make that decision, be it rightly or wrongly, if you look back at it, regret is really the biggest waste of time. It's like looking in the past, and anxiety is about the future.
Yeah.
The only thing is now, right? The only thing is this moment. And so, as long as you do your best in this moment and just let the future open up whatever it should, then you did your best. It's like your life is just be like amalgamation of different bars under the curve, so to speak. It's like looking at calculus. It's the integration of different trapezoids,
Right.
the Riemann sums, right? So you can only worry about this particular trapezoid at this moment, this little area, and then the next day you worry about that area, and then you look back for the moment. Oh, I just added all these together. That's your life, right? So I don't really think that people need to worry. You need to plan, obviously. You need to plan. You don't want to get caught off guard. But planning is one thing. And, sometimes the plan goes awry. This is not what you expected. And you should have enough agility to change tack once in a while, right? So I think that's where the wisdom and balance come in, right? So, yeah.
I think we have one more, at least for me. Like
Yeah.
I have football.
Yeah, sure.
Football was from 4 to 5:30. So
Okay.
I already took my coach. I'll be
Okay,
waiting for
okay.
like 45 minutes.
Yes.
But
that's fine.
are you gonna keep going?
I'll keep going.
All right, okay.
But
I mean,
Yeah,
thank you
sure,
so
sure.
much, Mr.
No
Tang.
problem.
I think Evan
I've-
can
I've-
join.
yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
I've
Yeah,
learned-
yeah,
I've-
we
I've
can go
learned-
on.
I've learned
There's
so
lots of
much from
material to work with.
I learned so much from you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
So,
Go talk, bro.
Yeah, thank you. See you tomorrow, Mr. Tang.
yes, you.
No, Evan can join.
You want me to join?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you might have
Evan's
questions.
the founder.
You might have questions.
Evan's the founder
You know
and
what?
leader of the Woodside Priory
I
experience.
already canceled my office hours today. I might as well take it along. It's okay. It's okay. I don't have anything going on.
I'm so excited. Wow. I mean, no,
Here,
keep going. What topics were you guys at? I mean,
Well, we were
that
talking
camera
about
went
so
off,
many-
so I was
Yeah.
like a little.
That's alright.
Um,
That's alright. This is our first ever podcast, first ever Woodside Priory experience.
Yeah. I
episode,
mean,
so
I'm like, I don't know. It's been start of school year was September. Right now it's November. Obviously, it was pretty long time span, but like I was I think we finally got here. I'm very happy that we did it.
Well, it's
Yeah.
good. It's
Yeah.
2.5 months. You guys did a lot of planning to get this club going. I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
All the gears and
Wow.
I
very
know.
very
Yeah.
pro looking.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all Mr. Quigley and the
we're
school.
good.
I'm really like I bought a lot of like Mike's stuff on my own during summer. I spent so much time just trying to figure out how to like set it up. But then one day I think you told me about Mr. Quigley.
Yes.
I went to him and I'm like about this podcasting and he showed me like all of this and I'm like, God, all those time I spent overthinking about like
And again, overthinking, right? So if you ask the right resources,
I know.
you don't have to overthink,
Yeah.
right? There's always, it's not like it's a waste of time, but you learn so much researching yourself too.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's a waste of time. There's an easy way and there's a hard way, but there are ways.
Yeah.
And you when you do something, it doesn't matter which way you do it, you learn something, whether it's the hard way or the easy way. You learn it. Sometimes the hard way you learn more.
that's true. Yeah.
You learn more. It's not a waste of time. I don't think of all the mistakes that I made that all of them are a waste of time. Of course, you feel shame, you feel regret that you made that mistake. But if I learned something from it, it's not that bad.
Well, yeah, I think this connects to a topic you guys were talking about earlier when Ethan said like, or not. I think you guys just talked about like, how you have to kind of live it yourself and learn it yourself. I think when I think back like on the point where my parents or my brother, like they would try to like my brother always says this, or my parents, like we have been through so much hardship, and what we're telling you now is so you don't like it's like in China there's this saying like common education where the parents said, oh, it's good for you, like it's all everything is like the teacher would say that, oh, this is like something good for you, your parents would say that. And yeah, like all like they put in so much effort trying to like not let you went through the same hardship they went through when they were in the same place.
Sure.
And reflecting on my past and my experience, when they told me that sometimes I would be so delusional or just like not open minded, very like just tunnel visioned. That's what my brother said. Like, but and then at the end they might be right, or like you just kind of reflect on. Of course, you have the regret, but then like there's I feel like there's always an uncertainty, like whether at times you think, oh, like what they're saying, okay, sounds like cliche or whatever, like I might figure my own thing out, or my life is just different. But then at the end, at least for me, I think looking back, like sometimes following their advice is definitely not a wrong thing to do.
No, but did you learn something when you didn't follow their advice? You learned that they're right,
Learn it hard way.
the hard way, but
Which-
you learn
which-
regardless.
Yeah, which
I
is something.
think it sticks to you more than had you just followed the advice and and then you become like, oh, I'm just doing what I'm told. I never understand why this way is better.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I'm at an age where oftentimes I'm more right than my parents. I'm not saying that as like a disrespect to my parents, but oftentimes at my age, especially growing up in North America from a young age, I think there's like a different perspective. And oftentimes now I've observed that my peers, even though they don't have as much lived experience as their parents, they often have better advice in only in some areas, like very specific areas. But it doesn't mean that I don't listen to my parents. It's just an observation I found that nowadays I've been able to make better choices based on my own thinking.
Well, the
and
times
based on-
change too. Maybe sometimes what they say doesn't really apply anymore. I think there's, going back to your point, Evan, about parents don't want us to make mistakes, or you guys, because they've gone through it and they don't want to see you suffer
Yeah,
like
that's a
like
big
like
thing.
they did. But I believe there's value in suffering. Suffering is when growth comes, when wisdom comes. It tempers your behavior in your soul. Suffering does that to you. So when you take away those learning opportunities, you are not helping that person grow. Yes, you might ease their suffering, you might ease their, hardship, right? But at the end, you take away something more valuable, right? Which is self-reflection, which is, soul searching and all that good stuff, right? And I think a lot of parents these days are doing that to an unhealthy degree. And so the kids just went on life and they don't understand why they should do certain things a certain way. It was just told, right? It worked, right? They got the grades, they go to college, but they don't know what they're doing there.
They don't know their purpose.
No, because the purpose was they
It's like
didn't
injected into
discover.
them.
Yeah, somebody inject that purpose in them. They didn't come up with that purpose. It's not authentic.
And even after they achieve that whatever bar is, and then they don't feel a sense of fulfillment at all, or like nearly as much as say if you're really passionate about something and you work really hard to achieve that on your own. It's your own passion. It's completely different.
Yeah, it's like copying somebody's recipe versus making something new of yourself.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So I certainly get that from cooking. I'm not a chef. The difference between a chef and a cook is a cook takes somebody's recipe and just repeat it, which is what I am. I'm a cook. I follow instructions. It looks good. It tastes good. I achieve my goal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I just need a meal. Right? And I feel proud that I can follow instruction. Am I a chef? Did I create something completely new? No. I might like take the recipe and tweak it a little bit, but not really. It's not my original thought, right? So, no. So when somebody actually come up with like when you look at these cooking shows and they have a kitchen competition or something like cooking competition, and they create something completely new and you just like under 45 minutes and go,
Whoa.
That's another level. That's a chef. Yeah. So, and I think everybody in life should be their own chef. Yeah, you copy from other people at the beginning because you don't know who you are, but then ultimately you need to make something of yourself, by yourself, your own idea. Whether you fail or you succeed, you at least gave it a shot.
You know what I'm saying?
No, God.
And I hope that when you guys become parents, you learn that. It's hard. It's hard watching your own kid, especially your own kid, fail, and you can see it from miles away.
That's
It's hard.
that's what my brother said at times where or my parents, I think, like, especially my brother, he said, like, because he when he came here junior year, so he had like sophomore year in high school in China. He came here, not California. He went to what's the say next to Michigan? It's like Wisconsin. He went to like a private school in Wisconsin. Like all the time, he would just say, "Oh my God, like how are you still complaining like about something where the school he went to, he would say like for lunch you get every day you get like pizza and that like crazy greasy pizza every day for the same thing." And then like he would, you get to like me. He was saying, "Oh, you get to go do sports or so many different opportunities." Like he lived in a family at the time. Like after school, he just goes back. Like yeah, he does some sports, but then it's like, and now when he looks at me, and at times he will say like all the mistakes that I made when I was in high school, when he was in college, when he was in graduate school, and now maybe you're a little delusional on this thing, or your mindset is a little still, not like matured enough or whatever, you're a little bit off track. He said it's just really painful for someone to like for him to, look at you and then like you going like I can imagine that if I have a little brother or
Yes,
if I'm a
yes,
parent,
yeah.
like I watching know that he's not on the right track or he's like he needs to like do something to pick himself back up or it's really painful, right? Like but when you're that person, when you're that child, you're that kid, you can't see it. Like so at times you can't see it, so you just but I think the greatest advice in those times of uncertainty or just when you're suffering yourself and your parents or your whatever your guardian or your sibling is telling you like giving you advice, I think the greatest is just to at times if your mindset is not working, try something different. Maybe try what they say for a week or like I think the biggest thing is to not keep doing the thing that keeps you in a bubble that keeps yourself from suffering and try something different.
Yeah.
And then not over like try your best to not waste time just sitting there somewhere just overthinking because that's the biggest regret.
I think that is I see that in this generation. You guys are so scared about making mistake because I think the parents are so protective of you guys making mistake. You incorporate that thinking, so you're standing there just not taking a step.
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah, analysis paralysis. I'm seeing a lot more of that even before COVID, and it's amplified after COVID.
I don't know. From my experience, 7th grade, I think I didn't get a phone then. eighth grade, I like started using a phone, I guess. I was, I think overthinking really started back then a lot with technology. I would see stuff online, but since I didn't really know any knowledge about the real world, and like since in China, you don't really get a lot of internet access, and I was just suddenly getting so much. When you suddenly get so much, you're like, wow, this is so much stuff. Then you gradually start to like overthink, I guess. I can't really like exactly explain the reason
Well,
when I
you're
started
inundated with information. You don't know
yeah.
what to think,
Yeah.
right?
And then you just kind of like there's so much. I think a big social media is like you look at all these people, they're all happy, they're all like achieving stuff, all the best moments on the YouTube highlights or whatever. You see those and you compare to your own life and you kind of go like,
Well, yeah, you don't. I don't
I think
I don't
that's
compare people on the internet to me. Like I don't. I mean, I go, okay, it's nice that you went to Bali. It's nice that you went to Machu
yeah.
Picchu. But yeah, I'll get there.
It's just at a young like middle schooler, if you don't know, you're not mature enough to not be totally sink into that and let yourself have that negative emotion of comparing yourself to others yet. You don't have that like lesson yet. So
No.
you just kind of do it and then you learn it the hard way. Or
Yeah, and I think Einstein said, he said something, insanity is when you try to solve the same method that didn't work the first time repeatedly.
Oh my God, that's so true. And when you don't realize it doesn't work.
Yeah,
When you
like, well,
don't-
you can see it doesn't work, so you say, oh, if I try again, well, yeah, nobody say you shouldn't try again. You should try again, obviously, but try it differently,
Yeah.
for God's sake, right?
That's for sure.
You know, it didn't work the first time. Why would you try it again? Well, okay, try it again. Maybe you angled it
You always
wrong or
think like
something.
maybe something different.
That's right.
And
Well,
then it
but
keeps
you
going
but
back
you
to the
still
same thing.
try. Maybe what you need a screwdriver, but it's a different screwdriver. You don't use the same screwdriver.
Yeah.
Right. So, I just find it's laughable when kids said that, oh, I studied so hard for your test. My question is, how exactly did you study? When did you start studying?
Night before.
and then when the truth comes out, I go, huh.
Then you found the
Maybe
reason.
that's why it's not working. I never question you didn't try.
Yeah.
I question the way you try and when you try. How early.
Yeah.
And maybe you try a different way. Maybe you'll see more success.
Yeah.
How long have you been talking for?
I think that one. It's been definitely over an hour. It's
Yeah, I
five.
think we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Do we
It's
want to end
fine.
with
and something
best memory?
with something. Yeah.
Best memory of
It's
Priory.
one of
We can all-
it's
we can
one
all
of the
share, yeah.
it's one of the topics.
Well, I would say they really didn't think about that. So many best time at Priory. I would say the best time in Priory is seeing my daughter graduate.
Wow.
Being a little selfish, I guess, in that event. I always wanted to teach my daughter in my own classroom. It's kind of like a dream of mine. And she ended up taking chemistry 2 years in a row with me on Chem, AP Chem. Not a very good chemist. But, she didn't become a chemist. That's okay. I got plenty of other students that made it to chemistry.
Victor.
Yeah, so, and many others, not just Victor. So I think, I wouldn't say the best moment. I think the best, accumulation of moments is that, and I share with some students and teachers, and it's going to sound funny. I have a friend of mine, when I was starting to teach, he said, well, Gabe, why did you become a teacher? And I kind of go, well, I have a chemistry degree, so if I work in industry, I'm just one chemist. Yes? But if I become a teacher, I can, in a way, give birth, even though I'm a man, to maybe a dozen chemists, hopefully, in my career of 30 years or more. And I think I accomplished that. So in a way, I wouldn't say students that never become chemists, I'm not proud of them. I'm sure they're successful in their own right. But for my own personal satisfaction, I, I achieved that, and I think that is I like that. Yeah, that always will stick with me. That somehow in my career, I have inspired students to be a chemist or to study chemistry, or go into the world of science, or just generally be successful and happy. I can't guarantee happiness. I can tell that when they come back and visit, they always want to talk to me. They want to check up on me. It warms my soul when the alum comes back and talk kindly about me.
That'll be me next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be nice. So that's the feather on my cap. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
What? Yeah, go
Hmm?
ahead.
oh yeah, I just think like. I just feel like you really found your purpose. That really sounded like you were just. That's your.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I am content. I think I'm not looking for happiness. Happiness, I think, is a moment. Is happiness is the present. You can't chase happiness. It either happens or it
Some
doesn't
people say
happen.
that's joy. Like there's a
Yes,
difference
that's
in
joy. You
happiness
get
and joy.
joy and contentment is more like looking at the past. Joy is not happiness. Happiness comes to where happenstance. It just happens. You don't plan it, right? Joy is a state of being. Joy comes from gratitude. You can't be joyous without having thanks of what you have. Gratitude is such an important ingredient in joy and contentment, right? So I wake up every day, and sometimes I miss it. Most days I don't. I count how many things that I have, the non-material stuff, and I have all of those, even in my darkest day. So I have much to be thankful for, and in a way, I'm joyous and content. Happiness, I don't know. If you have happiness, you have sadness. Yeah, you can't have one without the other. You can't have the yin without the yang.
Yeah.
You can't have darkness without the light. So if you have happiness, you have sadness. So I don't chase happiness, and I know that if happiness comes, there will be moments of sadness as well.
Yeah.
So I try not to worry about the future. I don't at this point. I really don't. I mean, I'm 55, I got another 30, 40 years tops. And I passed my middle age. I know I have. There are more days behind me than in front of me. So, whatever comes, comes.
Okay, Evan, what's your favorite or
Best
best
memory
memory
at
at Priory?
Priory. I mean, I've only been here for 3 years. It's a short time. I mean,
Yeah, compared to Mr.
yeah,
Dan's 23 years.
23 years. Oh my God, can't imagine. I mean, yeah, when you think about it, oh my God, like, if like for me, if to reach your timeline, it would be 20 more years, and I cannot imagine that. I definitely cannot. That's like, yeah. But best memory at Priory. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna say the first one that popped up into my mind. I think, last year when like near the end of that was peak like
Yeah.
like end of school year last year, it was like near the finals, the final week or the week before the finals, like the half days. I mean, I think the weekend before there was a dorm trip to Alcatraz. It was me, Richard.
Oh, you got store tickets?
Yeah, the dorm paid for tickets. We got a boat ride there. Like, it was really cool. It's my first time. And then I think that final week, we just kind of like, after each morning of like finals, we would just go play soccer. I think it was
Yeah.
me and like just a dorm guys. Like we would just go down to the field, play soccer together. I have this distinct memory. It was like after the yearbook thing ended, I realized that like oh, like next year I'm not gonna see so many of these people anymore. So then I just realized, okay, like might as well spend some more time like with my friends while I'm here, because when I reflect back, it's just a very, very good time. And yes,
So
it
there was a
was,
mixture of happiness and sadness because you just mentioned you
yeah,
realized you
yeah,
weren't going to see many friends, but
yeah.
that's also encapsulated by this happy feeling. And you mentioned, I noticed you just mentioned that you just got up and get down to the field. You didn't really plan for it.
No, it was
It was just
okay.
spontaneous.
Yeah, if I had planned, okay, after like the school ended, I was reflecting on it. I was thinking, I thought more, I had more time to think. Right after like school ended, you're just by yourself. You go back to I went back to China, and you just get more time to think. And I was like, shoot, I should maybe study more. I don't know, like, but then
Yeah,
at the time, you just kind of go like, yeah, like.
but those are the moments of happiness.
Yeah, just now when when
That's
when
right.
when I was looking at this best memory of Prairie, that's the first thing that pops up
That's
to my
right.
mind. I
That's
mean,
right. That was it, and you didn't plan for it. You didn't
I
chase it.
if I had thought more, I'd probably make a different decision. like,
But
but
but that
like,
would that
yeah,
that but that turned out to be the correct
I don't
decision,
know.
and I think it's a correct decision because the gray is whatever gray it is, right? It's I don't think it's gonna like that. This is why you guys are supposing that you think that one little event will have a cascading effect for your future.
Yeah,
Maybe it isn't. Who
never know.
knows?
Yeah,
Who knows? Right?
but reflecting back, that's
I mean, in
definitely
20 years, if you ask me what my best memory is, at Priory, I'm not gonna say I was straight A's in a certain semester. Like that's just not something I would consider as like my best memory because it's not
yeah.
as
I think you just
nearly as
don't.
much as meaningful as the connections we've made here. I mean, for me, I have several best memories at Priory. Not exactly on school ground, which is kind of ironic in a way. It's not exactly at Woodside Priory on campus, but first is first time going to the gym with my brother from Albania, Enya Hoja.
Yeah.
He took me to the gym. This was during the summer after my freshman year, and he got like a free pass for an entire month because they had like a summer thing, and then he said I'm his like relative or something, and then we just got it. And we went to 20. I'm actually not gonna say the name of the gym just
You
in
guys
case.
actually look alike.
Yeah, and then we just
guys
went
are-
for free for an
You're
entire
his-
month.
You're his
Yeah,
relative.
I was his cousin, and then that was even though now I lift way more, like 3 times or like 5 times heavier weights than I did before. Like I look back to that moment, it's such a nice summer.
That's the start of your journey.
Yeah, that and second, there's so many. There's probably like 5. Second was like this past summer, me, Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yes.
and Peter,
Uh-huh.
who's building the car outside. We went to UCSB. They had a sewing program there, and I was like bored, so I just went with them, and we were like wrestling on the beach. We were wrestling on campus. It was so funny. That was just pure joy. And third, I would say visiting Ethan in Vancouver for the first time. I hadn't gone back to Canada in several years before that because of COVID and everything, and then moving here, settling down. And I went to Vancouver, and it felt just like home. And
Yeah.
Ethan's
Yeah.
parents, they welcomed me to their house. They cooked Chinese dinner for me.
That's nice.
I was actually such a beautiful week that I spent. It was like,
It's probably your first time having a home cooked meal like that, right? At Canada.
yeah, that's right. And last but not least, maybe my all-time best memory that would I would probably tell my kids in the future would be a trip to France when I was a freshman, and um, really a beautiful trip. I've never been to France before, but I've like learned French for several years, and it was just great memory. don't even know if I should share this. It was my first time falling in love. And
Oh, okay.
yeah. And it was in the south of France, so it was like really nice and just a beautiful memory looking back. And I would say that's a great memory, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I hope they don't listen to this one.
But it has,
if they went to the end,
but it has nothing. Like I think Priory is a place, foster connections. Definitely, I would say, if I ever leave here, I have nothing but good memories. There are more good memories than bad memories. So, are there any difficulties or bad memories? Sure, like any other job, right? Whatever. There's frustrations and all that. But then, as long as the good memory outweighs the bad, it's okay. And even if there's more bad memories than good memories at any event in your life, as long as you learn something, and again, the thing is they're memories, they're in the past, they no longer affect your present.
Yeah, and I've heard people say about this, and also just now, like when you reflect back, you don't really think about the bad ones first. The good ones, like I mean, the topic is like your best memory a priority. But even when I think if the question was, reflect on your memory a priority, the first ones are not gonna be like, oh, one night I pulled an all nighter just to do 3 homework or meet all. It's still gonna be the good ones first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think humans we
No, it's human
naturally
nature, yeah.
we naturally think about the good ones.
Sure, that's how we
Yeah,
create
yeah.
hope for the
Yeah.
future, right?
Yeah.
So you look, there's good patterns in the past, there will be good patterns in the future, and it calms you in the present, even though you are full of angst and anxiety. And I think, I think a lot of times human beings they want certainty in a world of uncertainty.
Yeah.
And some people gravitate that certainty with religion. Some people gravitate with people's opinion, politics, policies. And, I don't blame some people in the world who gravitate towards just tell me what to do and I'll do it. Because they don't want to think. Thinking is hard, right? Thinking is having to figure out what to do. Is so uncertain and so full of anxiety. They just want to be told what to do.
And you don't get that analysis paralysis from just
No, you don't.
exactly.
It's very peaceful way.
It's peaceful.
It's
at
peaceful
times
at times to be told what to do, and you don't have to think about it.
because you don't overthink at all.
But right, but at some point in your life, your human nature comes out and say, "Wait a minute, I'm not happy," and then you start thinking, "Well, why am I not happy? Well, who am I anyway? I don't even know who I am. I've just been told what to do. I'm just a robot."
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. So there is something to be said, to be authentic, to have a purposeful life can be full of suffering. Having a purposeful life does not mean you ease suffering.
Oh yeah.
Suffering is constant, one way or another. Just what flavor do you want?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, that's a great place to end.
Can't end it better than that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, thanks for having me. I really appreciate all this. Okay.
No problem. Mr.
So
Tang.
I gotta
Thank
run
you
home.
so much
I
for
got
being here.
a lot of work to do.
Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
Mr. Tang.
Okay.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Tang.
No problem. Okay.
Thank you very much for listening. Shout out to the members of the podcast club and everyone who made this possible, including Mr. Tang, Ethan, and Richard, Mr. Quigley, Fedor Grachev, and Angus Pfeiffer for their tech support, and last but not least, Mr. Smith for letting us borrow his office. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the channel. You can also find us on Apple Music and Spotify. And also stay tuned for the next episode where student Fedor, Angus, and Jake Drogan sit down with Curtis, a coach of multiple sports here at the Priory.